Okay, for this assignment, what we are going to learn is how to work with the shape builder tool and the rotation tool as well. So I have here a couple of shapes that I'm going to show you how can we combine them using the shape builder tool. Now, in here I have this rectangle with the rounded corners and also these two circles, and the shape that I want to do is cloud. So if I take them both, we are used to work with the pathfinder. So an easy way would do to press here unite and we create a shape. But there's another tool that can help us with this process. Here it is. It's called the shape builder tool. As you can see, it has a plus sign in the cursor, but also if we press Alt, you can see there's a minus sign. It changes. So what it basically does is that allows us to not only add and create new shapes, but also remove those parts that we don't want. Let me show you how. For example, instead of creating the entire cloud, what if I just wanted to keep this moon and unite it with this part? I would have the process with the pathfinder would be like more complicated, okay, with more steps. But with this tool, it's different. For example, if I'm going to create the cloud, I will simply draw all the shapes. As you can see, they highlight, and when I stop clicking, I will have that cloud. But if I go back and let's say I want this shape, and this shape together. There we go. But I don't want this part. So for that, I will press Alt to remove these two shapes. Now, what I only have, what my result will be if I put a color, is this complex shape. So as you can see, it's very, very simple to use. There are sometimes for some specific shapes that you need also the pathfinder, okay? But for this one, it's very simple. Remember, you select all your shapes, then you go to the shape builder and you start painting those areas that you want. And if you don't want a specific area, you press Alt so you can get rid of it, okay? Let's move on to this one. This one is also pretty simple. I select all my circles. I go to my shape builder tool and combine this. Then we have this ghost from Pac-Man, okay? One of the suggestions that I gave you in class is that for me it works to have really, really thin stroke because we are like, sometimes we do this. I'm going to put here a circle and I'm going to increase the size of the stroke. There are two things that we need to understand here. One is the stroke, this one, the gray part, and the other one is the path, okay? This is my path. So for example, if I duplicate this shape because I want to unite them and I see them like this, of course the stroke is too big and they will like join, but that doesn't mean they are intersected. If you want to see if they are intersected or not, you can see it in here. For example, if I move this circle a little bit, we can still see they are like joined, but if we select them, we can see there's a gap between them. They are not intersected. And when working with the shape builder tool, if I put a bigger circle in here or an oval in here and try to do a shape, this will be the result. Do you see how all this in the center gets combined? And I don't want that, okay? What I want is for them to intersect so they will be cut. So that's a quick tip I have for you. So in here, what we're going to do is the ghost. So remember, you need to work step by step. First, I'm going to select these two. Yes, I can unite them, but for this assignment, we're working with the shape builder tool. Now that I combine them, I'm going to bring these triangles here. I'm going to select them all, grab my shape builder, and this time I'm going to click in this shape. I will press Alt so I can get rid of these parts in the bottom. And if we paint it, I have here this cool color. I also have these eyes already created. I have really simple and really fast a ghost, okay? And this is a yin yang. This is actually pretty simple too. Let me remove these shapes that I already have. We select them both. Remember, it's very important they are intersected. And also, please, please, please use your alignment options. Because, for example, in the worksheet that you have, these are not shapes, okay? These are drawings. This is an image that I created. So you will be tempted to do this, to create the circle, create it like this, but if it doesn't fit in mine, you do this. You try to force it you force the size of the circle. Remember, when you resize something, it's very, very important that you do it with shift. Shift keeps the proportions, okay? Don't do this. Don't force the shape because it won't make sense. This is geometry. This is, we really want aesthetic shapes. So for this shape, I'm going to select them all. Again, my shape builder tool, and I'm going to click in here to create the yin, now the yang, and I press Alt so I can get rid of the center. I won't get rid of this one because I'm going to paint it black. So I'm just going to simply click in here because I also want that shape there. So the result will be that I can paint this black. I'll leave this in white, and this circle, I'll paint it black, okay? What about more complex shapes, like these ones that we have over here? I already have, this is a Celtic cross, and I already have the shapes here. Let me show you another cool feature that Illustrator has. When we create a circle or a square or whatever, let me remove the fill. Let me copy the sizes, the proportion, there we go. Now, I have my circle over here, but what I want to do is to create a thick shape. So the way we are used to do it is to duplicate this, press Shift, resize it, and then align them both, okay? But there's also another way, and it's called offset path. So I'm going to click in my circle, click where it says offset path, and I can offset it, for example, 5 millimeters. Click in preview so that you can see how this circle goes outside another circle. If I put 8 because I want it to be thicker, then I can see the preview. If I want this circle to go to the inside instead of the outside, well, I just put here a minus sign, and as you can see, I have it offset. So for these shapes, you will only need to create one circle, the outside or the inside, it doesn't matter, and figure it out the size for the offset. So if I think that will be enough, and I will click OK. Instead of resizing the shapes and align them, this is a faster way to do it, okay? So for this, I already have my shapes traced. You asked me how to create the rounded shapes. Remember, I'm not using the rounded rectangle tool. I'm using a simple rectangle tool, and then with the direct selection tool, I click and drag to create those borders. Another question that you ask me is this, that you click and do this and just one corner changes. Why? Because you click, release, and you active this anchor point. We don't want that. What we want is to select this part. Let me select it again. To select this part, click, don't release, and drag. So all the 4 corners get rounded at the same time. Now I have here this part. What you want to do is just to pay attention what you're doing. Grab your shape builder tool, and for example, this one crosses all the way here. So I'm going to start painting there. And this one crosses over here. This one crosses there like this. So what you just have to do is to pay attention to which parts you need to highlight. And this time I think I'm just going to get rid of the middle points, but let me just finish this. I'm missing one part. This one goes here, and this one crosses. Now once we're done, I press Alt, and I'm going to remove all these spaces because I want my shape to be like those spaces to be transparent, okay? So, and the result will be, I'm going to ungroup this so I can see all my shapes, and I can just start painting them. So as you can see, there are no shapes in this part. That was pretty simple, right? Now, let's move on to more complex shapes. Like, let me get rid of this. Like this one. This one, it's a combination of 8 circles. That means it's an octagon. So let me show you how we can do this with another tool, the rotation or the rotate tool. For that, I'm going to start by putting first my guides. I'm going to press Command, click and drag because I really need these guides to work. And I'm going to lock them in this part. I have to make sure that my snap options, the 3 of them, are not selected, okay? I'm just going to lock this guide so I can work on top of them. I will create a polygon of 8 sides, which is an octagon. I'll click OK. And I'm going to place it right in the center. I'm going to intersect it. Okay, so I'm going to move this, intersect it perfectly there. Let me put it a stroke because I didn't. There. And I will use a very thin stroke. Now that it's snapped, my circles will move around this octagon. Okay, so if my octagon is of, let me put it in 20, then my circles will be the double. That means 40. Wait, this is my circle. I'm going to press Shift and drag, and I will put 40. They will be double in size. Okay, now what I want to do is that I want to rotate my circles around this octagon, but in this way, okay? Not from the center, but like from this way. So I'm going to snap the circle in this part. This will be my rotation point, so my circles will move around. For that, we are going to use, I think these are not centered. Wait, I saw. Okay, so there we go. It's perfectly intersected now, both my shapes. Now what I want to do is this. I am going to click here in my circle, grab the rotation tool, and I'm going to click in this, I'm going to press Alt, click in this part will be the intersection, okay? And if we divide 360 by 8, that gives us 45 degrees, okay? So my rotation angle will be 45 degrees. So as you can see, it's already rotated. What I'm going to do is to click in Copy. I have the second copy, I want 8. So once I have the angle specified, what I'm going to do is to press Command D 6 more times. So it's Command D 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I have my entire shape done. What you can do again is that you can get rid of that one because this shape will be done. And finally, you are just going to select them all, grab your shape builder tool, and make sure you check the example for reference. So for example, in here, it starts in this part, so I'm going to color all the way here. That will be my first shape, and then this one all the way here, and you are going to continue creating this amazing shape. The end result will be just to add the colors, okay? So these are the examples that you are going to do in here. This one's pretty simple. This is the one that I explained you. And over here, in this one, you just have to figure it out where the rotation point will be, okay? Which I think it's in the center because we created a flower. These are 2 examples. You are going to create your own shapes in this one. I gave you this for inspiration. I left that for inspiration. And for both this assignment, you need to put gradients, okay? So this is it. Be creative and have fun.